Here we are in the lab again, and I just stumbled upon something. These are my two new ones. They're selectively chopping right now. These two were combined along with some of the reactant soils into prototype soils. So I got prototype soils going $100 a bag. Okay, I'll label them out, Soul Hound. These are little germination containers. Okay, selective type A, selective type B, selective type C. What would make soil $100 a bag? Let me show you a process that's fucking impossible. Okay. So, in all of these bottles, you notice, maybe there's an up, there's a down, there's a pretty standard gravitational thing going on, but in reactant soils, there's a little bit different. Okay. So here is the Happy Land formula patent. I want you to just watch this for a moment. Okay? That's all you're going to do. Sit there and watch it. Yeah, a funny thing that takes place in this reactant soil in a patent. This took me almost an entire year. And you'll notice that the container is still, doesn't really move. But you'll notice everything reactant upon it is actually acting in pretty much zero gravity. And the weird part is it actually acts as if it breathes. These little formations go up, they go down, they go left, they go right. They pretty much go where they want. And it's sitting completely still. And there they go. They lift, they fall, they adjust, they roll. And they never hit the bottom. Some go way up, some go way down. And it's rapidly, literally alive in a sealed container. But the weirdest part about it is the structure at the temperature range literally just lives and floats around and has almost a no gravity boundary to it. Filament 3D. It's $250 a bottle. So as you can see, it just kind of lives, moves, breathes, almost as if it's its own animal now. This is kind of like a life reactant formula that I found. And this took me almost an entire year to construct these things, but even sitting completely still in a bottle, okay, notice the other soils, notice all the other substrates, they just kind of settle. They don't really they're not really alive themselves. See what I mean? They're just kind of growths. But at $250 a bottle, okay, they're actually alive. That's what we call alien. That means each individual bacteria substrate can actually live, move, develop its own little ecosystem in there, kind of adjust itself, wiggle around, exist in kind of like a zero gravity if it wants, go up toward the top, go up toward the bottom, almost like turning clumps of shit into like living fish. And they all exist, they coexist. It's literally creating like a brand new life structure from scratch, and they just kind of do what they want. Isn't that kind of weird? All the rest, they just kind of sit there. But these ones will actually just fly around, wiggle around, like multi-cell bacteria. But these ones, they actually just live And that's what makes some of these. Actually, that's probably a little cheap on that one for 250. There's something to just literally live, exist, and do what it wants in a bottle, aside from the rest. So, in case you're wondering where the price tag goes, these are just regular growths, standard soil sediments, water table splits, reactant soil, different germinations, you know what I mean? And $100 a bottle, you start getting, a couple little things alive in there. But this one, after an entire year, this one just literally lives by itself. And all these little things live in it and around it. With literally no motion at all. They just do what they want. And they're starting to form into larger, almost moving structures. It's kind of like I've mixed the portion of where cell walls divide and start communicating in bacteria. So it's almost like it's its own digestion tract in there. So these things can actually move around and communicate with each other, kind of rub together. Some of them cling together, some of them separate, some of them cling together for just a day. Some of them separate. It's basically an entire alien substrate that can communicate single-handedly by itself with all of the individuals in a jar. And the last one I made like this, I was pricing it around $10,000, but this one's probably the most unique bottle that I've made in the past 15 years. These things will literally just combine, collide, separate, jump, leap, go to the top, go to the bottom, play around circles, go left and right. They don't really care what else is in there. They communicate, adjust, grip, compound, decompound, and they don't care. So if you're wondering the science that I do, I might not be here very long at this lab. I might be at a different lab. But in case you're wondering the price of regular soil to $250 soil, or $1,000 soil, or $100 soil, okay? That's the difference in Soul Hound prototype soil. So, Soul Hound. And how long can these little guys last? I've made spectrums of life like this exist for, I think the maximum was 10 years in a jar, where they just play around and separate and mold and mesh and do all sorts of crazy things and bounce and twist and whatever. It's like it's its own little person I created in a jar. But that's what I call reactant soils. I'm testing these ones. These are the new prototypes. But these ones are $100 a bag, in case you're wondering. I'm Trevor Tenge. This is Soul Hound R&D company.